Welcome back to the Fly Lab. So for today's fly tying experiment, we're going to try a little spring type pattern. This is going to be using purple YLI silk, number 244. And we're going to use for the dubbing a Shetland Spindrift in Paprika. So I actually split this one. So normally it comes with two fibers like this and you just untwist it. They're twisted together. I just untwist them and I pull one off. And so I'm just going to use one on this because I kind of want a thinner bodied fly, which is, it's a nice feature of the Spindrift, I guess. Now the first thing I do is I lock this Spindrift all the way in because otherwise it will tend to kind of spin out on me. Because between the silk and the hook, it's pretty slick on there. Next I want to use some Brassy wire. I'm going to use a sculpin olive. This is going to be for the ribbing. We'll just add this on for the rib. And then I'm also going to add on some tailing. So we're going to just use, you can use either a medium or dark Pardo, or you could even use like a wood duck, whatever you want to use for this. So I'm just going to pull off a few fibers here. I want them to end up being about maybe a little less than a hook shank. So somewhere around right there. So we're just going to tie these guys on. Okay, trim these off. Move the thread back up to the front. And then we can start the dubbing. So we're going to use the Shetland Spindrift. It's got kind of a wild hair there. And we'll just start this from the back. It's nice that it's all buggy and everything. It's really messy, but it's also makes it a little tricky to apply it. I think it looks a little bit like a pheasant tail, but you could also for this just use like a melanistic pheasant tail would work well, or like usually you get the dyed black pheasant tails look really good here. So either way for that. Okay, then we're gonna apply our Brassy. Try and just separate it from our tailing fibers here. And we will just rib this all the way up with just a few reps. And then lock that down. Just a few turns there. Okay, and next we're going to helicopter that off. Okay, so that's it for the body of the fly. Next we can do the hackle. So for this fly, you could either do it as a soft hackle with like a partridge, looks really good on it. Another option is doing a stiff hackle with like a grizzly. I think for this one, I'm just going to do a stiff hackle. So I like the wider part to go forward. So first I'm going to build up the head a little bit here. Give it a nice head. And then right behind that, I'll tie in our hackle. Just trim off that little tag there from the hackle. Okay, and a few turns on that should work well. Okay, next I'm going to do just a little ice dub to finish it off. So for this, I'm just going to do a Peacock ice dub. I like this SLF style one. And it's kind of one of my confidence dubs, I guess. So we'll just add this right behind the hackle here. And then we will finish it with a whip finish. And that is pretty much it. Tighten that up. Just trim that off and there you go. That's the fly. So as you can tell, it's a very buggy fly. It's got a nice little rib on it. And, you know, probably clean it up a little bit, but you know, you can always trim off some of these extra pieces if you don't like them. Some of the dubbing sometimes gets a little wild too. But don't worry, you get this into a couple of fish and their teeth will tear it up pretty quick, so it doesn't really matter how neat you tie it. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will give these a try and let you know how they go. Have a good one. See ya.